What about the word Antifa? What does that mean?
Antifa is a general term.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm going to object to any reference to this officer talking about Antifa. And this is the reason why we had discovery. This is the reason why we turn over expert materials and documents. I don't know what's called qualification to talk about Antifa.
What is the relevance of Antifa?
Okay,
in this trial?
do you know what it is?
Yes, it's an anti-fascist organization where they are, protesters. Or,
Right. Okay.
Right.
All right, I didn't know if you knew.
Significant, yes, I'm familiar. Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, the police, he will testify that major protests, particularly involving black people, create problems for them, for their safety from outside groups.
I want this officer to testify.
Are you going to withdraw your objection?
I'm going to have him testify.
Okay, that's fine.
What does Antifa mean?
Antifa would, as a general term, more of a left-wing anti-fascist movement compared to the opposite would be the right-wing neo-Nazi type group. So there's two in the spectrums that we can discuss there, but there are groups that we have seen in other communities that kind of work with protest on both sides and come in and can cause some violence and vandalism associated with some other cities.
Is that a concern for the police department that outside groups would come in, particularly if we're having protests which are largely comprised of black people?
It is. I think that there's a concern with outside groups coming in that don't have knowledge of what the city, what locals may have, and it's on both sides. Anytime we're dealing with a protest, there's potential for other groups to come in and escalate between the two groups.
Okay. And was that an issue in the time period that we're talking about? Was that an issue for the police to be aware of and anticipate?
It was. We had seen in other cities that Antifa groups had been intertwined with Black Lives Matter groups, and whether they were intentional or not, had taken over and caused violence and vandalism in other cities. So that was something that we were aware of and watching for.
And is there a danger for other groups of white supremacist type groups coming in also to try to maybe cause damage?
Absolutely. We've seen that in other cities as well, the counter-protests coming in. Matter of fact, during this time frame, there were reports of white supremacists going to the north side of Walmart buying tiki torches, very similar to what was used in the Charlottesville, Virginia incident where they marched through campus with tiki torches. So we had investigated that. That was some of the same type of tips that we had received, and we're concerned about having two groups coming in against that.
Okay. Were you